If you listen, the sizzling is very gentle. Shh, it's cooking straight away. And then you hear that singing of the sizzle, rather than the boiling. But as the water releases, the sound gets much gentler. And then we taste, we taste, we taste. Why? So we understand what's happening. Acidity, a little less acidity, a little less, a little less, a little less. And that's the key. There we are. 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 Butter your dish. There we are. 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 So there we are. Oh my God. There's our celeriac. There we have it. There we have it. There we have it. And there we have it. Whew. So, the potatoes. Potatoes are going to drink it. But look at them. They're wafer thin. Potatoes, they become intoxicated with the cream, scented with the nutmeg and the garlic. Cabbage, force meat, cabbage, force meat, cabbage, force meat. And the leaves get smaller and smaller and smaller. In the end, you reconstruct this cabbage. Let's do a little bit of fresh herb, which just washes the palate at the end. When you think the sweetness of the pear, the spice of the white pepper, the acidity of the Stilton, and then that bittersweet flavour of the endive, washed down with a bit of parsley, and the explosion of delicious walnuts. There's nothing worse than a large nut in your mouth.